because there is a vacuum. So we're using this opportunity to ask the Nigerian president to constitute the governing board of the National Human Rights Commission. It is not a political body. There's no time the government will constitute governing board of the National Human Rights Commission and they will pack members of APC. No, you can't do that because the law is very clear on who should be a member of the governing board. That institution is a... But in the last 5 years, it has been systematically undermined and sabotaged. That is why you have... So, Nigerian government should blame themselves, not Amnesty International. Somebody, the minister, the other day was on television, jumping all over the place, saying Amnesty International is working against the counter-terror war. Far from it. You can understand where Amnesty International stands because of their ideological leaning. They're not happy that Nigeria has a clear statute against some of these advertised objectives that they have, which they recently have unveiled. It's been made open. It's no longer a hidden agenda. You understand? Let me refresh your minds. Amnesty International has advertised that they are going to campaign vigorously for the institutionalization of same-sex marriage. The second one is about abortion. These things are things that hit at the core of our cultural value system, which the Constitution frowns strongly against. So if you have a body that already has an agenda to achieve, they can just do anything to blackmail the country to either follow what they want, to do what they want, or they just make sure that everybody is kept very uncomfortable. It's a very powerful organization. Nobody is doubting that. But our alarm, we are alarmed by their advertised objectives. So, our advice to the local human rights organizations that operate in Nigeria, a lot of them operate even from the northeast of Nigeria. The other time, we made an observation about the service chiefs, and some people who call themselves northern elders attacked us and said they are inviting us to Maiduguri. It's very funny. Huriwa is in Maiduguri. Our members are in Maiduguri. You don't need to invite Huriwa. You don't need to invite Huriwa is not Onwubiko. So for you to say Huriwa is invited to Maiduguri is just like saying you want to expel Amnesty out of Nigeria. It doesn't make sense because those are institutions that are grafted. Can I use the word grafted? Something that is already is an integral part because of the kind of the modus, the way we started, the formulation of the organization, the way it was organized, the organogram sort of, or maybe that's the proper appropriate words to use, makes it so so easy for members to just be anywhere they can be in any part of the country. And there are even members who are registered in Nigeria and they're already out of Nigeria. You cannot say because you're already out of Nigeria, you cease to be a member of any organization that operates in Nigeria. No, it's not possible, you know. So, we're going to send a report to the International Criminal Court to ask them to discountenance any sort of report that has been authored by Amnesty International because those reports are completely, totally biased. We are not saying they are completely, totally false. What we're saying is that they are the motive for writing such reports, as has been shown by the advertised objectives of Amnesty International, can be faulted. It shows that there is an agenda. There is an agenda. Unfortunately, we're entering a very terrible time. The arrival of the new president of the United States of America shows that Nigeria is in a very deep mess. Because I'm sure they're going to put pressure on Nigeria to discard that law that we promulgated against same-sex marriage in Nigeria. Nigeria is one of the first countries in Africa that institutionalized that law. And I'm sure some of those guys who are the sponsors of Amnesty International will not be happy with Nigeria, and Nigeria will come under very intense pressure. And unfortunately, Nigerian people and a lot of Nigerian people, maybe maybe those of them that will be watching us on TV, they look at this, what are these even talking about? They don't care about it. You have to care. You have to care, because this is exactly how colonialism started. People dismiss it that, well, it's just, anyway. Some people even come out to clap for the people that were coming from wherever they're coming from, the white people that came. They say they brought Western education. You're coming into Africa. The passion of knowledge is that you're bringing education to people that are already educated. You understand? And some people were clapping for them, and some people even started working for them actively, and even started selling their own people to them. That is what is happening to us now. There is a second slavery, a slave trade. And Amnesty International is one of those organizations that are anchoring that. And the new government that will come in America will be one of the greatest funders of such objectives. So Nigerians should get ready. Nigerians should get ready to see a lot of Nigerians appearing on TV, men. You see boys appearing on TV to say they are girls. It's going to start happening. It used to be just one person, I think. Then secondly, one other character appeared in Brakot, and people were out clapping for them. You don't have, we're not saying imprison them, you understand? No, we're not saying that. But we're saying, well, if people decide to do whatever they want to do, oh, it's okay, good and fine. But we must not forget that we are a people of very strong African cultural roots. So we need to do everything institutionally. We need to put in place legal frameworks to defend our cultural value system, because a nation whose culture is eroded is a nation that has been crushed. They own the world, they are running the system. That's why they want to run us out of place. They want to run out of us who are conservatives. We are very conservative about our culture. Some people say, somebody the other time when we wrote something about against same-sex marriage, somebody, a Nigerian person who is working in the Nigerian embassy. Look, let me tell you, we're in a very serious danger. A very senior diplomat that works for Nigeria in somewhere, I don't want to mention his name so I don't implicate him, came to my Facebook page to attack me. He said, look, are you not the human rights guy? I said, yes, if I'm the human rights guy, what are you talking about? He said, why are you attacking a same-sex relationship? Oh, I said, God, we're finished. I said, and you are a diplomat of Nigeria and you're saying this? He said, what am I talking about? That I should stop talking that rubbish. The media has to bail us out. Look, let me tell you, do you know that in Europe, in Britain, for instance, the British Parliament, one of the strongest, do you know the strongest committee they have in that parliament? Is a committee on media and culture. Do we have such committee in our National Assembly? I'm sure their function in Nigeria here will be to be defending certain funny policies of the hierarchies of the National Assembly. No, the committees of culture and media in the National Assembly is this kind of job they're supposed to be doing. We're working for them. It's their job we're doing. The Committee of Culture and Media are supposed to be the ones that we find out that Amnesty International has advertised that these are their objectives. It has always been their inclination, but people have been suspecting for some time. Now they came out openly. Go to their Facebook page, you see it there. It's not hidden. It's not hidden, it's there. I've had time to visit their office in London. You understand what I'm talking about. It's a very strong, it's not funded by any government. It's funded by the individual members. So it's a very strong organization that has been there for what 70 years. You understand? So if you have an organization that is very, very rich, very powerful, and has global contacts, they have the finances, the billionaires of this world, who are all Americans or British, are all their backers, and you have such, and they don't advertise objectives that contradicts the fundamentals of why you are a human being. And you are saying, why am I concerned? I am concerned because I love my culture. I am concerned because we have come to conclude that most of their reports are jaundiced. Most of their reports are biased. Because if you have an organization that has ideological leaning towards these sort of practices that are at variance with our cultural value system, you have to stand up and defend it. That's what we're going to do. We're already doing a report. We have constituted a 6-man researchers made up of professors in universities. Rural has constituted 6 professorial holders that are going to do our report. We're going to send to ICC to counter what Amnesty has sent to the ICC, even though it's coming a little bit late because the ICC has already decided they are going to investigate Nigeria. But we're going to try and see what we can do to tell ICC that ICC is trying to destroy the Nigerian cultural value, because that is the reason. That may be the reason. If it is not the reason, they should say so. Why are they advertising that their objectives will be to promote practices that offend the foundation of our culture as a people? Let me tell you, on the issue of same-sex marriage, somebody was saying, but the Universal Declaration of Human Rights does not say anything about whether a man should marry, whatever. Let me tell you, Article 16. Well, some people are reading different kinds of interpretation to Article 16 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. But that article says marriage is a union between a man and a woman. That's what that article says. They have been trying by all means to see how they can reconfigure that writing, maybe by putting some comma or putting some kind of this to make it, because they are the owners of the language, they can manipulate it to suit what they want. But we said no. We also made, a lot of us made first class in English language. So understand that the meaning of that Article 16 is that, I think it's Article 16. Yes, Article 16 is that the marriage is a union between a man and a woman. So that's the reason why we're concerned. And please note what we have said. We are going to do a presentation to the National Assembly, urging them to pass a resolution declaring that the objectives that had been advertised by Amnesty International are at variance with our cultural value system. That is not to say that they are going to dismiss Amnesty International from Nigeria, because nobody, no force can remove Amnesty International from Nigeria, because this Amnesty International we're talking about, maybe their members are even here watching me. Some of you who are reporters may be members, because some of us got things to do with Amnesty International from our secondary school days in the 80s. So this is not a small thing. So that the brainwashing has been there. So I think it's time to begin to de-brainwash our people, to tell them, look, this body that we have been following and looking up to as models, they're not models, so, because they want to destroy our cultural value system. Wherever you go in the world, whether you decide to leave Nigeria maybe because of how unorganized or how disorganized the country is, how dysfunctional the country is, this is our country. So if you decide to leave Nigeria, you want to leave Nigeria and go to US or go to Canada, go to wherever you want to go to, any part of the world you want to go to, whether you like it or not, you have a village in Nigeria. If you are Onwubiko is not American. If you Onwubiko and you go to Canada, you say, Mr. Onwubiko, no matter how you want to call it, you want to put your mouth the other side to call it anyhow you want to call it, Onwubiko is a Nigerian from so and so community. So you have a community here. Our life starts and ends here, no matter where you live in any part of the world. So it is our duty as Nigerians to defend our culture. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't be ashamed of it. Because it's for a reason of being, I don't care. I don't care whatever they do. That is why you have some Nigerians dancing naked on TV, telling you see a boy, because the boy, maybe God cannot make mistake. In my own faith, I don't believe that God is perfect. But if God decides to create a man that looks more like a girl in terms of beauty, a man is not supposed to be as beautiful as that. A man is supposed to be handsome like a man. But when you now see a man who looks as beautiful as the other this thing, and the man begins to dance on TV and tell you that I'm a girl, and everybody is clapping for the person, and the person is driving all sorts of jeeps and everything, and it's becoming like a culture. And you have a ministry of culture that is not doing anything, where there are efforts to destroy our culture. I have said it, that we're going to ask Mr. President to remove the current Minister of Culture, and I don't know how they combine the bit, but I know that there's a culture ministry. Nigeria needs to have a culture ministry. You don't have to mix it up with anything. If you have somebody who is fixated about fighting AIT or about fighting Arise, because Arise covered NSAS protest, and he's a minister, and that is why he's the minister, you remove him and maybe give him a minister for anti-AIT or a minister for anti-Arise or whatever you want to call him. Let him be there and be facing, or make him DG of NPC. That's what he was. So we need to have a cultural department, because our culture is under severe attack. Gentlemen, this is the reason why we are holding this press conference. It's not for anything. And we're not saying that the army is perfect. Far from it. We have written a lot of reports indicting the army in their performances, internal military operations. A lot of human rights violations have happened in the southeast, in the Northeast, and even the army themselves have set up human rights desks. If there is no problem, the Nigerian army will not set up human rights desks. That's to tell you that it's an admission that there's a problem that they're trying to fix. Because I mean, it's a human institution. There are bound to be challenges. You understand? But what we're saying here is that you have an organization whose ideological bent is at variance with our cultural value system, doing all kinds of reports against Nigeria. It shows that that organization is here to blackmail Nigeria or to destroy Nigeria. A restaurant in Kaduna, a restaurant, they say attempted adultery. I don't know where they got that law. Attempted. So if I begin to think about how to carry a babe from so far, I can be arrested for attempted carrying prostitute. So that's the only time you have that kind of person talking, which means the person doesn't know his job. What I'm saying is that you need a cultural ministry that will be headed by tested and trusted. Do you know there are professors of culture? You don't know? There are professors in different languages. There are professors in Tiv language, there are professors in Tiv culture, Igbo culture, Yoruba culture, all kinds of culture you want to talk about, African culture. There are even professors in African philosophy. Maybe some of you don't even know that. You understand? So why won't you have a full-fledged ministry? We're not saying have a ministry where you have 1 million staff. No, you can have a ministry with just 10 people. Yes, you can have a ministry where the ministry will basically focus, their work will just be on the internet, like countering these kinds of activities of Amnesty International. They advertise it, and nobody has said anything about it. I'm sure the minister does not even know because he's thinking about how to fight AIT. He doesn't even know anything about what Amnesty has advertised. That's what we're saying. So you need a ministry with somebody who is focused towards protecting our culture, like the way you have in Britain. The strongest committee in the British Parliament is the Culture Committee. Even in the US, they have a committee like that. Do you know that that committee summoned the owner of Facebook? Can you believe that? A committee is a spokesperson for media will begin to talk. No, that's not the job of the committee. The job of the committee is supposed to be to defend our culture, not to defend infractions that are done by officials. That's what we're saying. So things should be done normally. That's how constitutional democracy should work. Some of us are members of Amnesty International. I'm a member. Me, that's speaking, I'm a member. You understand? And we're saying that we have over 8,000 registered members, fee-paying members of HORIWA. We are now asking them, by extension, using the media to tell other Nigerians, millions of Nigerians are members, do not fraternize with such an organization that is fighting your culture. Except if you don't like a culture, well, you can decide to do whatever you want to do. After all, somebody who is a man has said he's a girl, and people are actually paying money to visit the page, to watch the person. Some of us spend our hard-earned money just to be entertained by people who are working against our culture. You understand? Forget about 21st century. Forget about this. Maybe this man is a local man. He's just a local Kavancha man or local Ronnie's dog man. No, it's not. Everybody is local. The moment you remove your culture, you are dead. The moment your culture is gone, why do you think blacks all over the place are fighting, saying Black Lives Matter? It has a lot of things to do with culture. Yeah. Racism has a lot of things to do with hatred for somebody's culture, somebody's color, somebody's kind of way of life. That is culture. So we're really, really alarmed. And we're disappointed that we don't have a ministry, full-fledged ministry of culture. We need that. Please don't quote us to say we want a ministry where you will have all kinds of stuff. No, not this kind of ministry that you have. Like you have Ministry of Women Affairs, you go to Ministry of Women Affairs, you find like 200 people working in one office, and you have a lot of girls being raped. There was that time an 18-year-old girl was taken to a hotel in Yobe State the day before yesterday and killed after a sex marathon. The Ministry of Women Affairs has not said one thing. You have a lot of cases of child abuses, child rapes all over the place. We're not saying we have those kinds of ministries where you create jobs for the boys. No, we're saying we need a 21st century compliant ministry of culture that will put our culture on the internet, because the war that we're having now, the cultural war we're having now, is on the internet. It's data. That's the kind of war we're fighting now. It's a new kind of war. So if you sit down in your little room and you think all is well, all is not well. This is the reason why we're holding this conference. All is not well. So we need to have a ministry of culture that is 21st century compliant, that will be awake to her functions, and realize that you have an organization in the country that has advertised objectives that offends the fundamental, the core cultural value system of the country.